Hey everybody, welcome back to another Sunday video. Today I'm actually doing it from my office on Friday just before the markets are closing to help us prepare for next week or the week ahead. Of course, it'll be Sunday for you when you see this video, and in this video we're going to be going through some setups, some ideas, and you can actually see, because the market's still open, you can see some P&L on the screen here from some trades that I am currently in. So we're going to start with trades that I'm currently in. I am currently trading the NASDAQ on the long side, and I want to show you this daily chart. Take a look and you'll see there's this nice overall upward trend that's been forming this year on the NASDAQ. And recently we've had a little bit of a carnage in the stock markets, but I decided I wanted to give it another shot to try and go long here to see if I could make some returns if this market does kind of continue the overall upward trend. So of course this is a daily chart though, so let's narrow it down where I actually took the trade, which was more on the hourly chart. So again, now that we're zoomed in here, you can see everything that was, of course, at the time of recording it's Friday, and we had Jerome Powell speak, which caused some serious market volatility. Price shot up, price shot down, and it came all the way back, and at this point we are still in profit. And actually, my stop loss was so close to getting hit and turned around just in time. So I can't say that my entry was that great on this one, but on the longer term charts, I like the uptrend, and I'm going to stick to this NASDAQ position going forward. So for the week ahead, I will still be in my position here on NASDAQ. I do hold trades over the weekend pretty often, as I am inherently more of a swing trader. So at this point, my goal is to see if I can let this trade kind of bounce off the longer term uptrend and continue in the upwards direction. Now, my goal, of course, with my trades is usually to trail stops, and in this case, that is what I am aiming to do. Now, I want to also talk about another market that on, of course, Friday, we got a major move in the up and down direction. Again, today's volatility at the time of recording this Friday, it was absolutely crazy. And part of that was, again, the comments Jerome Powell made were pretty hawkish, meaning in favor of the dollar, as basically they said that the Federal Reserve plans to use the full force it can to try and essentially keep inflation headed in the right direction. Now, in order to do that, they might need to continue to keep interest rates high, or perhaps even use more interest rates to help conquer that inflation problem. Now, what does that do to the price of gold? Well, you can see that prior to Jerome Powell's speech, the gold market rallied up into the 1922 mark, but after he started speaking, the gold market did not like it so much. Gold sellers took full control of this market, pushing off of the highs, and actually broke clean through major support levels here on the hourly. In fact, as we go into the week ahead, you'll probably see this on your own charts. This consolidation definitely broke out here on Friday, but now as we come into the weekend, I'm not taking a trade right before the weekend. However, we've got to acknowledge that, dang, this is pulling back perfectly to a level of resistance here on the gold 1 hour chart. In fact, if we put our swing high to swing low, there's an argument, I would say, for potentially some bearishness here on the gold market. So take a look. The 50% retracement gets tagged, and I think, in my opinion, a stop above the highs makes a lot of sense, but the move to the downside could be pretty substantial. If this market does decide to roll over, it's been in a longer term downward trend, and if sellers are going to take back control of this market, we could see a move back down to the lows. In fact, this is a trade that Frank took inside of the Discord channel. Give me 1 second and I'll actually show you that. So if you guys don't know Frank, he is a long-term friend of mine, and he also works at my company as an analyst inside of our Discord channel. He also helps to build the Edge Finder, which you guys may be familiar with. But anyways, Frank shared a trade on gold, selling basically the break of this low, and it was a beautiful entry. He sold it, and it immediately went down into profit. And basically, this is what Frank had to say. Powell's speech suggested a more restrictive policy going forward until the, quote, job is done, referring to, of course, the 2% inflation target. Yields are up near its highest point in years after 5.07 printed here this morning on the 2-year, which is really strong in the yields world. That, of course, has a direct impact, as Frank points out, to the metal to the downside. So he took a short. So both fundamentals and technicals lined up. Frank took this short, and I believe he trailed out for profit here throughout the trading day. So a really nice move on that side of things for Frank. My opinion is I think that this sell side is just getting going. I think we have more room to kind of see the unfolding of this downtrend again on the gold side of things. So again, a really big push here through the lows here this morning and now retracing. So as we get into Sunday and market open again here for the coming week, I think that there is an opportunity to see more sell side come into play on gold. And again, this is kind of a fundamental and technical setup that I personally will be watching going into the week ahead. Possibly more gold shorts are on the table. Now, I also want to show you guys something here with the gold scanner. If you use the Edge Finder or you've considered using it in the past, this is really exciting. We just recently added a couple things, and one of those things were the gold scanner. If you haven't heard about the gold scanner will allow you to essentially look at gold through the lens of what our software uses to gauge bullish or bearish readings. This uses a combination of both fundamentals as well as sentiment analysis to help give us a bias on the price of gold going forward, or perhaps the euro or indices, whatever you personally are trading. What I'll show you guys here is that we're getting a -3, which is a soft bearish score. It's not a super strong bearish reading, but we can also see we added something over here called the score indicator to the Edge Finder. This allows you to see where the Edge Finder was calling certain bullish or bearish readings. For example, check this out. Early August, the Edge Finder was pointing to bearishness for gold, and we saw a persistent downward trend follow for quite some time. Back in the beginning over here, you can see, let's actually hover, where was this? This was back in July, late July, we had a bullish reading for gold, and it persisted to the upside for quite some time. So you can kind of see the Edge Finder has a score based on all of the different factors: COT data, seasonality, right, trend reading, GDP, inflation, unemployment. It's taking into account all of these different factors and building a bias around them. So again, it's a really cool feature that we just added, and we're really excited about this. And I should also say that with the launch of these new features, we are offering the Edge Finder at a significant discount. Last week, we did some trials. We had a lot of great feedback from people who enjoyed checking out the tool. If you would like to get access to the Edge Finder for 30% off, here's how you can do so right now. Down below in the description, there is a link where you can click that link, and if you use the code YTVIP, which you'll be able to see down below in the description, you'll be able to get the Edge Finder for 30% off. Now, this is a huge discount that we do not plan to do for the long term. So if you'd like access to the tool and you are a serious follower of my channel or our content here at A1 Trading, we worked really hard building this tool the last year and a half, and I'd love to get you your copy for 30% off. Am I being salesy? Yes. But honestly, I stand by this product. I have devoted so many hours, and so has my team, to build the product that you see here, and it has helped me find numerous exceptional trades in the market, and I wanted to help you find opportunities as well with giving you more insights, including seasonal trends, commitment of traders data, all sorts of good stuff that might be helpful to you to unlocking better setups in the market. So again, take advantage, use the link down below in the description if you'd like to check it out for yourself. I also want to talk, we'll go back to the watch list here for a second. I'll show you some other things that are hot on the watch list. Euro dollar. I want to show you guys this. Euro and pound are both getting very bearish readings right now. So for example, Euro USD here, let's see, we have this kind of downward structure on the hourly chart. And as things swing back up into this area, we've seen sellers be aggressive. Each time prices come up to this point, sellers take control of the market and push it right back down. So I think that's something that should be on your watch list. If you're a currency trader this week, watch for breaks up into this area and look for continuations to the downside if you are watching the euro. Now, will that happen for sure? No, I'm not a fortune teller. I'm a trader. Trading is all about probabilities. And I think that the dollar in the short term actually looks surprisingly strong. And I'm not opposed to actually being a dollar bull as well as an index bull. Because remember, I mentioned earlier, I am still looking to trade NAS long, right? And I'm in this NAS trade. I'll pull up my P&L again so you guys can see that, right? There it is. We're up $900 on this trade and just about $6,000 on the day. You may be asking, where's the rest of the $6,000 come from? I have a couple different trades open and a lot of NASDAQ, options trades as well, which we do alert inside of the Discord also. So I share all of my trades, like this NASDAQ trade, as well as some of my options trades and my position trades as well. You can get an idea as to what that looks like if I pull it up really quick. All of these different trades, you know, of course, there is my swing trade where this is, you can see, I just narrowly missed getting stopped out on the NASDAQ. Here was the entry, the breakdown, why I took the trade, so on and so forth. And you can see all the different types of trades. I share my position trades, my options trades, etc. So again, if you're not already in the Discord and you would like to check it out, please use the link also down below in the description, and you can actually bundle both the VIP as well as the Edge Finder. If that's something that you're interested in doing, all you got to do is just click the link in the description, check it out. Anyways, I want to keep going in terms of other setups. We mentioned Euro. Let's talk about Pound. Pound had a really interesting way that it closed the day out. Now again, Jerome Powell spoke, and it was a pretty hawkish sounding thing for the dollar. The dollar really initially was bearish and then just tanked. I'm sorry, the opposite happened. The pound was very bearish, and then it just tanked as the dollar got really strong off of some hawkish, again, narrative from Jerome Powell. Now for me, going into this next week here, you know, I'm not looking to necessarily to short where it currently is, but the pound USD looks really weak as we come up into this area. And I think that the US economy being so strong is partially why the reason I'm, you know, preferring the US dollar over other currencies, but also kind of wanting to be long the NASDAQ, long the S&P. You know, I think companies may outperform what people are expecting, and that's why I've been very bullish indices this year, and it's led to some of the best trading performance that I've had ever. Anyways, I want to keep going and talk a little bit more about some other ideas that I have in the market. What about dollar yen? Dollar yen had a fascinating day. And, you know, if we see this actually on the 4-hour chart, check this out. 4-hour chart, we marked this up during the live stream today. Price rejected this level once, twice, and a third time was attempted, but notably, bulls got above this area. Dollar yen looks pretty strong in my opinion, and as we break through this, it is possible that we may make a dart to the upside here. Now that we've really cleared daily resistance to the left, is it possible that we're going to start to see the dollar yen make a move back to the previous highs up around 150? It seems crazy, but it very much could come back to at least retest that area in the longer term. So how do we take that on the shorter term? Well, again, 4-hour chart, nice breakout. This chart looks incredibly bullish. I think probably I'd wait for a pullback if I'm trading this thing myself. So if I drop down to the hourly, you know, maybe there's something like a break and retest here, which you could probably look at a little bit closer. Like for example, this 61.8 looks pretty interesting as you get kind of this nice pop above, big strength off of the hawkish tone of Jerome Powell this week. Possible pullbacks could be really interesting to keep an eye on going forward. So it is a unique kind of week. I'm bullish on dollar as well as NASDAQ. And the reason that might sound surprising if you're new to this stuff, usually the dollar strength puts pressure on the indices as it's kind of like an expectation that the Fed is going to be hawkish, meaning raise rates. Higher interest rates, remember, that makes costs for doing business more expensive because, again, companies have to borrow money usually in order to grow and that sort of thing. And if borrowing costs are higher due to rising interest rates, it can hurt companies. So it's usually not the case that I'm bullish on both, but sometimes you get a rare instance like this. So I am bullish USD, and I am also bullish indices going into this week ahead. So just a couple things to think about. You've got dollar yen, you've got gold, which again, both of these cases, I'm looking to kind of be long USD. We also pointed out from Ivan on some of the streams he shared. If you don't know Ivan, he's a friend of mine that comes on the show regularly. And Ivan and I discussed seasonal yen weakness coming into the next couple weeks. Yen weakness seasonally can be very impactful. And if you don't know what I'm talking about seasonal trends, let me share some stuff with you here. So this is really cool. If I pull up seasonal data, for example, the USDJPY, what we can see here is that in the month of September, which is right on our doorstep here, the month of September shows us that historically speaking, the dollar yen tends to perform well. In the last 10 years, the average performance in the month of September is 0.74%. It's pretty good for a currency pair. So when I'm looking at dollar yen, and I look at seasonal bullishness coming in, that's something else to kind of keep in your back pocket. And remember, the way the Edge Finder works is it takes into account all this different data, right? The commitment of traders data. It takes a look at retail sentiment. It takes a look at seasonal trends. It looks at all of this stuff, and it punches out using an algorithm the bullish or bearish readings that you guys see occasionally in my videos. So again, remember, if you don't have access to a copy of our software, I will say it once more, we're doing 30% off right now, which is a major discount off of the product. And if you have not already grabbed your copy, use that link down below in the description, and you can use the software for yourself. So anyways, let's talk a little bit further about some more ideas. Aussie dollar might be an interesting one on the sell side. So let's take a quick look at AUD USD. So if I pull up the Australian dollar, we have kind of a similar story here in terms of possible setups to pound USD or Euro USD. If price is able to kind of rebound up into this area, I think you may get some opportunities. In my personal opinion, I bet this is a 50% retracement. Let's see if I'm right about that. 50%, not quite, more of a closer to the 61.8%. So perhaps a conservative way to approach this would be 61.8% retracement. Could be an area of interesting sell side opportunities. Again, that's at least how I'm viewing the Australian dollar going into this week ahead. We get a nice, very bearish reading off the Edge Finder. Same thing for NZD USD. Let's pull this one up, take a quick look here. Same kind of concept, possible, swing high to swing low could get us interested at like the 50% in this case. The 50% gives us this area here, where we actually saw the previous attempt to go up into this area was met with huge resistance earlier at the time of recording this the same day, right? Jerome Powell put some pressure on the NZD USD, if you will, with his comments. We could take a look also. So we have Aussie dollar, NZD USD, pound dollar, Aussie CAD, very bearish, different than the other perhaps, and not a currency pair that I trade very often, but worth checking out. We get a very bearish reading on this one as well from the Edge Finder. So we can see, actually, this is a beautiful chart. Look at this Aussie CAD, beautiful sell side kind of chart. We poke up into these areas. If you're watching the Aussie CAD, my bias would generally be bearish, looking for another lower high and continuation of this trend. Just catching one of these moves would be really, really phenomenal. And with good risk management, you could probably make some nice returns just looking at that. Of course, this is just my opinion, and I totally could be wrong about that, but Aussie CAD looks interesting. Again, not really a currency pair that I personally trade, but worth keeping an eye on. Finally, dollar CAD. Check this out, guys. USD CAD is a currency pair that I'm very bullish on myself. And as we speak, of course, we're going right into the market close, so I don't necessarily want to pick up that added risk just for holding over weekends, just because the trade may or may not be setting up. But dollar CAD might be interesting to me. We broke out of this previous resistance level. Take a look here. And here we saw a rejection, but then we had huge bullishness off of Jerome Powell's speech. Coming back now into that area, this actually could be an interesting setup on the long side. Again, going off the dollar bullish theme that I've got. So 61.8%. I'll watch this out of the gate next week. Dollar CAD could be interesting here for a continuation play. Now that we've had a healthy pullback, it doesn't look too bad in my personal opinion, and the dollar still looks, in my opinion, more attractive than the Canadian dollar, as actually the Edge Finder has been giving us a nice bullish reading on dollar CAD for the last few weeks. Congrats to those who might have caught some of that upside. It has been very, very strong and plenty of money to be made, just kind of going with the flow there for the last few weeks. So again, that's what I've got for you guys. If you do enjoy my videos, do me a favor and just hit that thumbs up button. And also remember, take advantage of the sale. If you want 30% off the Edge Finder, you can click the link down below in the description, punch in that code YTVIP, and you'll get access for a significant discount. Thank you so much for watching my video. Have a wonderful week ahead, and see ya.